Well, we've arrived at week 8, which is just incredible, but we have. And we're getting very close to midterm in the semester, which reminds me that most of us have done the midterm conversation, but there are still some people who have not. And remember that that is a part of participation. And the midterm conversation, there was a scheduling opportunity in a choice feature a week ago, and most of you went ahead and scheduled. We did have a couple of hiccups with that when I either did not notice that you scheduled or we were really close to scheduling time, but we have missed. There are a couple that I still need to catch up with, and there are one or two that have yet to select a time. So I encourage you to probably email me at this point for a time to have that midterm conversation, and we'll just get that done. So moving on, we are just right now turning in our career roadmaps, and remember that that is our first time to turn that in. This particular project is divided in two halves, and this is the first half where we're turning in the draft of the career roadmap. That was due the 28th, or is due the 28th. We haven't arrived at the 28th yet. This is the 27th. And so we're going to use exactly the same rubric for this first time to explore how we've done this. It gives us an opportunity for our mentor groups to give us feedback, for me to give you feedback as well, and for you to think about what others have done, what might be ideas for you to consider. The format of this, and that's been the topic of many of our midterm conversations, is up to you basically. It can be a flow diagram, it can be an Excel spreadsheet, it can be a table, an outline, even a Word document, that however it makes sense for you to conceptualize a roadmap. And I would most like for it to be a useful roadmap, something that you intend to use and not just an exercise for this particular course. So again, we'll use the very same rubric for turning the project in this time. We'll grow the project and turn it in again as our very last project. This week, we are in our discussions discussing the career roadmap. We're not going to have an awful lot of things otherwise to discuss, so I really want us to spend time discussing the roadmap. We will also have a Metagogy forum where we will be talking about various kinds of social media. And you very well may be far more versed in different applications than I. And so I want you to bring to the forum ways in which you connect with others. That we're talking about building online relationships. And really, this is your outward face. And I want you to take a good look and share with your mentor groups how you look to others, the face that you present to others, and particularly have a sense of a prospective employer's view of the way that you present yourself in this outward-facing approach. So through LinkedIn, through Facebook, Instagram, whatever way you connect with others. Even on your cell, the way that you've constructed your greeting is an outward-facing message. So what does that message say to the person who is calling you? And what if that person is calling to interview you? Is that person going to have the same message that, for example, your family member would have? Is it going to be as professional as you want it to be? How have you constructed your personal email. Just the name of your personal email. Sometimes they're pretty interesting. And what does that say to someone? Remember that these things are all discoverable. They're all out there. Even Google yourself to find out what is there that describes you to others. So that's what we're looking at. Let's also look at our framework. We're spending time with Fullen again this week and looking at relationships as crucial to change. Relationships in the leader-learner work or professional venue as well as social venues and contexts. So we're reading chapters 5 and 6 in Fullen, and just take a look at how you develop your professional relationships, how you develop those communities, how you develop a social network among your peers and among those people that you have worked with perhaps in the past. Have you kept up with those people? Do you have what my father used to refer to as a trap line that you can run if you wish to contact those people in your past to find out where they are and what they're doing in order to both keep up with them and to find out whether there is a new opportunity for you in your network, a new opportunity for the other person from what you might have going on in your current network. So sometimes it's about linkages. Sometimes it's about building bridges between one set of friends and social and professional contacts and another set. So leading and learning in change. Building relationships. Relationships. It's all about relationships and influence. So critically reflect on your outward-facing messages. That's what we're going to do for our pedagogical activity. For our planned activity, it's all about looking at your career roadmap and having the feedback of your mentor group. Critical and appreciative. All right then, what are we looking at for our next project as we turn in this one? Our next one is due March 27th, and that is our Leading and Learning Perspectives paper. So I'll let you read about that, have a sense that it's kind of a perspective and philosophical paper about who you are and why you are. In other words, the assumptions about your thinking, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your values, and how they align. We're going to write a 10-page paper in APA format, conforming with critical reflection on Leading and Learning Perspectives rubric. So again, that's March 27th. That's what we'll be looking at for the future. We'll also be, this is part of our conversation in our midterm conversation, we'll also be working on, as a long-term project, our self-directed learning project, which will have very few guidelines and hopefully be gaining you something along your career roadmap. And so that gets us started on week 8. Week 8, relationships and our career roadmap. See you in the forum.